know you're gonna love me in a youth. When you run for your school or foreign in a college. Star in the making.
Pastor.
Yeah, watch it.
Stretch it out, stretch it out.
You can see a broke record, youth. No more video you pain. You see all of this, it a go rewarded. Me a video, come on, you have to see it. Cause you see you believe in you so much. I believe in you, youth. You got broke records.
Final heat.
Come on, Nickoye.
The fastest two.
Chop them, Nickoye! Let's go! Let's go, Nickoye! Let's go, Nickoye! Let's go, Nickoye! Let's go!
Oh my God, absolutely inspiring. Track athlete Nickoye Watt joins us along with his father, Nickoye Watt, to reflect on that video recorded more than 5 years ago. The clip captures a father's bold declaration of his son's future success. And the question that we start with is, Nickoye, do you know Love Daddy?
Yes, I love him very much.
Morning to both of you. Thank you so much for joining us. Oh my God. Nickoye, what do you feel when you look back at that video? Let me ask you though, when Daddy showed you that video, right? 5 years afterwards, what was your reaction?
I was very, very surprised to see that video. And I was also embarrassed when he showed me it since I was crying in the video. But it really did make me cry since he cares about me so much.
Yeah, amazing, amazing. Daddy, I have to bring you in here because, you know, usually when we're asking our children to do things that they don't want to do, you know, we just kind of bad them up. We never necessarily use the opportunity to encourage them and to say, listen, 5 years from now, you're going to love me when you watch this back and you're now an athlete, you know, in your big school abroad. Let's ask you this. Did you always know that he had it in him?
Yeah, definitely, because a couple of the books that I was reading at the time, it was telling me a lot about the potential, the unseen potential. So, you know, it was a matter of putting those things that I had read in practice and the way I spoke and stuff like that. So, yes, I always knew he had the potential in him.
Yeah. Nickoye, Daddy says that you were loving video games a lot at that time to get you to concentrate and such. But, I mean, apart from the video games, were you always in love with track and field?
Yes, partly, because I was also doing football at the time. So I'd be basically rubber banding between the both of them. But I love track, so...
Yeah. And did you continue training when you went abroad for school?
Yes, I did. I continued training with my uncle. He owns a Team Speed Academy. So he's been keeping me in shape since I moved up here.
Yeah. Take us back, though. 2019 in that driveway, right? What do you remember most about that moment? I know you saw the video and you said at that time, you know, you didn't know he was recording you. But what do you remember most about that time?
I remember I was extremely tired. I was exhausted. And I know I was doing those for a long time. So I was so relieved to finally be finished with it.
Daddy, what are you there smiling? What are you thinking when you hear him recall that time? What are you thinking about?
I was thinking, like, you know, maybe at that point in his life, he was so angry and upset with me, but he couldn't show it because, you know, he wanted to play tough, even though he was crying. But I knew that regardless of what he was feeling in the moment, you know, the opportunity for him to realize that it would all make sense in the end, you know, it would come, and it has eventually come now.
Yeah. Let's talk about where you are now, though, Nickoye. I mean, athletically, we're seeing you there in that race, and you've done pretty well for yourself. Let's talk about that stage now that you are at.
So recently, I became district champion in the 200 meter for my school, and I came second place in the 100 meter. And I ran 10:92 and 22:13.
That is incredible. And I know you said as well that Usain Bolt is like your idol, right? What is your aim there?
I hope to meet him again one day. You know, I've always been inspired by Usain Bolt, going to his races and stuff. So I love Usain Bolt a lot.
I was also reading that you said you wanted to beat Usain's record. Do you think you can?
Yes, I definitely think I can. I just have to keep putting in the work, and with my dad's support, I definitely can.
So let me ask Daddy to chime in here. Daddy, you believe Nickoye has it within him to beat Usain's record?
100%. 100%. Any individual with enough training and with enough dedication can do anything that they think is possible for themselves.
Absolutely. You know, and having you as a father, I mean, all things are possible because you're a very encouraging one there. I want to ask you though, Daddy, because there are so many parents who are up this morning getting their young children ready for school, encouraging them to pursue their goals and such. How do you find that balance between motivating them and, of course, maintaining discipline?
Well, most importantly, the balance comes between both parents, myself and his mom. His mom plays half the role. And in his early stages, she was the one that was the disciplinarian. I was the one that would encourage him to break all the rules because it was more fun for me and him, you know. But when she started to reinforce discipline, then that's when I was encouraged to start disciplining him as well.
Yeah.
And I remember when we used to go to different places to visit people, if he didn't say good morning, he would have to go back outside and come back in again and say good morning.
Wow.
You know, so it was like training him in that way at that young stage, so that the older he got, he would never depart from it, as the Bible says, you know.
Absolutely. I will love those teachings, seriously. And then you also spoke about the value and the power of the words that we say over our children. Daddy, you know our culture here in Jamaica. Sometimes as parents, in a moment, we can't find the best words to say, right? But let's talk about that consciousness, right? You were talking about the books that you were reading at the time. The consciousness of saying the right things over your children.
Right. Well, I mean, like I said, one of the books I read was a book called The Game of Life and How to Play It, you know? And it told me that all the words that we send out come back to us in some way or form. So I started to become mindful of all the things I was saying, not only to my son, but to myself and to everyone around me. Because I also recognized that everything I said to someone else, I was saying it to myself as well. So me telling my son that I believed in him was also me telling myself that I believed in myself. And if I tell anyone else that I believed in them, then I'm also telling myself that I believe in myself.
Strong. Seriously, much to take away there. And Nickoye, I'm sure that's resonating with you right now. What are you working on right now, Nickoye? What are you preparing for?
I'm preparing for my regionals track meet. So I'm definitely putting in the work for it.
Love that. We also hear that you play football as well?
Yes, I do.
Which one do you love most?
I'm definitely leaning to track more as of now. So.
Okay. And for, you know, young Jamaicans right now watching, they are trying, they want to pursue track and field. What would you tell them?
I would tell them to do what they love. If they want to pursue track and field, then they should do that. If they feel as if they love football more, they should do that as well.
Yeah.
It really just depends if you're happy with it.
Well, listen, this has been such a great symbol of what's possible. We thank you both for joining us here this morning, and congratulations on everything that you've done so far.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. That was track athlete Nickoye Watt and his father, Nickoye Watt.